Okay, we are now joined by fan favourite is Tony. We love him. Not the best result today, let's be honest, but what did you make of it?
Well, it was a fair result. It was, the best side won. I don't think there's two ways about that, you know what I mean? The fact first half puzzles me a little bit, really, because I think what we were trying to do is contain. And that was our game plan, I think, and then obviously get to the last sort of 30 minutes and then obviously at 0-0, then press and push.
Almost like a Champions League replay.
Yeah, pretty much, but maybe we were less, we weren't getting them second balls on this occasion. They were really pressed high on us. Their energy levels were higher than us as well, and everything about today, you have to say, they thoroughly deserved, really, if you're truly reflective of the entire game. That said, anything can happen at this level. Once we conceded, obviously we looked the better side, so you do kind of look at that and go, well, why didn't we do that right from the start? But it's obvious why we didn't. We were trying to contain, utilise their energy, get them, use it against them, and then come out of the press and then try and grab a goal ourselves. But it didn't work out. Small margins, deflection, and we have to thank also Mendy for some really world-class saves. Because it could have been worse. But, it is what it is. I think we would have all taken this at this stage. If you looked at the fixtures right at the start of the season, we've now got another game, Manchester City out the way now, along with Arsenal away, Tottenham away, Liverpool away, and we're doing great. So I don't think we can argue with that. I think we're still above Man City as we stand right now. So, it's not a disaster, is it? Do you know what I mean? And and also Man United have lost, haven't they? Am I right in saying that?
Have Man United lost?
Yeah, they've lost to Aston Villa, who we both said were truly magnificent when they played us. Yeah. So and I think
we'll take that
up. Over, I think.
Let's not die. Let's not die.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to end my life on a loss.
No, absolutely.
Looking at the league, then you're still confident. Early days.
Yeah, very confident. We all know, right? It's fine margins, very tight margins. We're not going to run away with it. It's all about. They're champions of England. We're champions of Europe. They're a very, very, very good side. We beat them 3 times on the spin. It's even all those games. It could have gone 3-0 to them. There's very tight margins between the two sides. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed with today is the fact that I felt that we could have. So second balls, a sloppy little, where we were losing possession, and the energy levels. That's all I'm going to say. But apart from that, listen, you just got to take it on the chin, and we move on to the next game, which is obviously Juventus, but for us here, Southampton, isn't it, at the bridge.
We move on. We take some positives, but we move on. It's early days, like you say, Tony.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Right, this guy is going to introduce himself because we love the shirt, and you're going to do a big intro, aren't you? No pressure.
Jem from GNA TV. I'm sure you guys know me. You've seen me about Football Terrace, Carefree Lewis's channel, Blues Fans TV. Make sure you subscribe and smash the like button for them guys as well.
Cool, that's it then. Thank you. No, I'm joking. What did you make of the game today?
I felt like in many ways we should have just stuck to what we know in terms of the formation. We played a 3-5-2 today, and I felt like our midfield let us down. Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho, they all had poor games. I thought they had poor games, to be honest. So what I would have done today is just stuck to what had worked in the past against Man City and played the 3-4-3 formation, which we'd done later in the game. So for me, I just felt like if we'd have stuck to that at the beginning, maybe played Havoc, Werner and Lukaku up front, we might have been more successful in the game. But to be fair to Man City, on the day, they deserved it. I don't think we turned up, especially in the first half. I thought Lukaku was very poor. Timo Werner for me was, I think, he gets a lot of slander from our people. But to be honest, I think Timo Werner actually had a very good game today as well. So, it's one of them ones where am I really pissed off about the loss? A little bit. But at the same time, it's still very early in the season, and anything can happen really as well. So it is what it is.
I've asked other people as well. How much do you think we missed Mason Mount today?
I don't know. I think
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah, I mean, if Mason Mount was in today, we would have probably played a 3-4-3. The reason that we decided to switch the formation was because he wasn't there. Would we have played differently? I think so, due to the formation switch. And I think he probably would have had an influence in this game today. However, I still think that a Kai Havertz, a Timo Werner, and a Lukaku, if they would have started at the beginning of the game, may have been done to do something completely different.
Were you impressed when Havertz came on? Do you think he impacted the game?
It changed it. It changed it massively. Obviously, we lost a midfielder, obviously one midfielder, but in terms of the press, it was a lot better. We were sort of man marking them, in the games, and we had more up front. I felt like Lukaku was very on his heels a lot of times. Werner was making the runs, Lukaku was on his heels. With Havertz coming into that game, I think it kind of allowed us to, in many ways, sort of stretch him a bit. So when you had Aspie and Alonso on the whips, and then Havertz, Werner and Lukaku in the middle, it made it we looked a lot more balanced, we looked a lot more comfortable. It's like we knew what we was doing. But this 3-5-2 thing for me is a good formation, don't get me wrong. The only time you play the 3-5-2 formation is when you're winning. Because like we did against Tottenham, all right, he switched it, we was behind and it worked. But I just think that in that 3-5-2, if we were winning 1-0, then you should have brought in N'Golo Kante and tightened things up like we did in the first half. But we just lacked a lot of attack creativity. It wasn't getting enough from the Kantes and the Kovacic's. So, we lost. It is what it is. They were due to beat us eventually. We beat them 3 times in a row. So in many ways, it is what it is, and we just moved. Do you know what I mean?
And how much credit do you think you should give to Man City? I mean, we know they're a decent side. Like you say, it's a bit of a revenge game as well.
I actually don't think Man City are that good.
Really?
I look at them and I think to myself, they still lack a striker. You look at their goal today, it looked like it was a deflection from where I was sitting. Anyway, it looked like it sort of just bobbled its way in. It was like, yes, they had a lot of the ball, but what were they doing with the ball?
I mean, first half in particular, they had a lot of possession, like you say. I was Matthew Harding, so they were shooting my end. I wasn't worried first half.
Yeah. I wasn't worried. I felt like we were okay in terms of the way we were set. But it was just the way we moved forward, It wasn't like it was too many times we got the ball in midfield and we looked back when we should be looking forward. You've got Werner and Lukaku up front; they should be making them runs.
It was almost like you wanted to be on Football Manager or FIFA, and if you're controlling it, you know exactly what you want to happen,
exactly.
And it's there.
Yeah. They just wasn't doing it today. And look, we was due to lose a game eventually. It was going to happen. Unfortunately, it was against Man City. The one thing I'd say Tuchel should learn from today is that the 3-5-2 can work, but stick to what you know. We've beaten 3 times with 3-4-3. And I would just continue using that system until, in certain games, second half, if you need to switch it up and be a bit tight, use the 3-5-2 a bit later. But because when you give yourself another midfielder in the middle, the problem we got with Kante, Kovacic and Jorginho is, for me, they're just not progressive enough. They don't look up and want to play that ball straight away. And if they try to, it's always 9 times out of 10 doesn't find its man. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I would have just had that extra runner up front and just kept. I thought Ruben played well when he came on.
Oh my, he was fantastic, wasn't he?
He did. I thought Ruben came on and he at least he was driving. He was doing what Kovacic usually does, driving, but with a bit of an end product. I just wished he came on a little bit sooner in the game as well. But it is what it is. We move.
So, how are you feeling about the next Premier League game, Southampton? In a sentence.
Bounce back, win. We have to win. All right, Man City are on the same points as us now after that win against us. So, loss is a loss. We're still where we are. It doesn't mean that we can't win the title. We can win the title. We still can win the title. We just need to know what our best system is and use it moving forward. That's it.
And our London friends Brentford can beat Liverpool later. That would be nice as well. Thank you so much.
And personally, I don't think that's the reason we lost the game. I don't think that's the reason it didn't work. I think when you've got 2 forward men, Lukaku and Werner, you have to play into them. And within the first 10 minutes, you could see Pep Guardiola organised his team so well. They were pressing us. They were not letting us play out from the back. And every time we had it with our centre-backs, it took so long to break the line, if we ever did, because most of the time they got the ball off us. So I think, mentally, some of the players in-game should have understood that we're going to need to go longer a bit quicker. And I think playing the ball into Lukaku, he can hold it up. Playing the ball into Werner, who can run in behind. It was a no-brainer. I felt like that was the strategy. Why didn't we use it more often? It was quite annoying, really.
What did you think of Werner in the second half? Because I was Matthew Harding. I could see him. He was making the runs. He's pacey, as we know. Yeah. But do you think he improved as the game went on?
I think he was good every time he had an opportunity. So when he got the ball, there was a couple of times he ran down the wing and he had 3 players around him, but he would just run and win a throw-in or run and get us some yards up the pitch. I think he did look a bit tired to me towards the back end because, he played 90 minutes in midweek, then again playing today. I felt like there was a couple of opportunities where a ball was just maybe 2 or 3 yards ahead of him, and if he continued sprinting, he would have got on the end of it, but I think he was tired. I think you can't blame him today. The service was not there for him. He didn't have opportunities on goal. We always complain about Werner missing chances. He had no chances to miss today. So personally, I think he did all right. I wasn't upset that he started, and I think this system can work again as long as the players implement it properly. I don't blame Tuchel for today, and I don't blame any of the forwards, Lukaku or Werner. I think we just need to get the ball to him more. Simple as that.
If we can go a bit more positive now, let's talk about the defence. How well did Chelsea defend today?
I think we did okay. I think we did
Just okay?
Yeah, because
Do you think City could have scored more?
no, but I think they came here to score one and they scored one.
Yeah, it was almost like Champions League in reverse.
Yeah. I think they had a very set game plan and they performed it well. I think the reason I'm not so happy with the defence is more so how we'd attacked from the back, if that makes sense. When we our centre backs had the ball a lot and we didn't progress it enough to the point where it converted into chances. So the overall performance wasn't great. The defence was a little bit better, like you're saying, I guess. But I still wasn't happy with it. One person I was happy with though, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, performed really, really well in midweek, came on to impact the game, and he really did impact it. He was taking on players. He put Foden on the floor at one point. He was doing exactly what you want in those little 20-minute cameos. When someone comes on, you want him to make an impact, and he did. So fair play to the lad. Hopefully he gets another chance. But it was just a shame it came in a defeat, Not the way we wanted to start the season, to be honest.
What's your sort of overriding emotion after this game?
Disappointment. I'm not devastated. I'm sure when I go on social media, I'm going to see the meltdown from all the fans. I don't think it's the worst result. City are a top team. They showed us why they're champions today. But we've just got to bounce back. And like I said, I don't think it was a big flaw in our system today. I just think it was a matter of getting the balls in earlier and playing with a bit more intensity, a bit more urgency. So I don't think it's been I don't think Chelsea have been found out or anything silly like that. I think we go again next week and we'll be all right.
Yeah, I like that.
So you have to give credit to Man City. There's a reason why they came here as champions of England, and they have a game plan in the first half. High presser, it's the same problem that we've had against Tottenham, but I think City just took one step level further than Tottenham last week, and I feel like we caught up in the middle so many times. Somehow something doesn't add up. Too many, sloppy passes in that midfield. We somehow moved the ball a bit slowly.
I was going to say, no one's mentioned it so far, but it was quite sloppy, wasn't it?
It was very sloppy in all areas. I feel like not only the passes as well, the movement without the ball are also doesn't feel add up. Something's not right for me, whether it's tactically or whether it's probably the formation and that.
What did you think of Lukaku Werner starting together? Because I know you're a big advocate of Werner, you love the man. But what did you think of them starting together today?
I thought there were some moments that caught up in my mind. I feel like, this could be the best partnership that we've been looking forward the most. I feel like for this game alone, I think it's more Werner suited more than Lukaku. I feel like Werner's the work rate of Timo Werner today. You can't questionably he was so good today. I feel like Lukaku at the time he was so isolated in that final third. I feel so bad for him because at the end of the day, it's the midfield that we lost the battle today, and that's where. That could be the dent of our momentum for the next couple of weeks. Another question that needs to be asked, do we tactically get found out? That's my main concern. Last year, we've had this amazing run under Lampard. Then what happened? We start to crumble. Game by game, eventually Lampard got sacked.
Can I ask you, though, with the selection of the team and who we played in midfield today, do you not think sometimes it's a case of your opposition and the strength of them?
It could be like you said. I have to agree with you when you said the strength of opposition. I feel like last week when we switched 3-5-2 formation against Tottenham in that second half, it's more suitable for Kante somehow. And you got to look at from today's performance as well. I think Man City tactically found us out from that game last week. I think I can't believe I'm about saying this, but I think today Pep outsmarted Tuchel today, unfortunately, and I think that's where the game's lost today. It's just the battle of the two tacticians in the game, but all in all, it's pretty annoying to lose in that way. But I'm just looking at it in the longer term. All right, we dropped points against Man City. Could this be crucial when it comes to the end of the season?
And lastly, obviously Michael Oliver was reffing. It's quite different when you're watching it in the stadium because you don't get the replays, you don't get the discussion from the commentators. But what did you think of the reffing of the game today?
I thought at some point in that game, something doesn't add up. Like it feels like a Liverpool Chelsea all over again, in my opinion. And you can't really fault or anything. You can't really blame on one referee for one bad performances. I think all in all, we have to take our responsibility from amongst ourselves that we're the second best team today. So before this game alone, don't forget, Tuchel's outsmarted Pep like 3 times in a row. There's no way Pep gonna let Tuchel outsmart it like 4 times. So you have to give credit as well. I mean, the reason why City are to contenders this season as well. So I'm just looking at it in the longer term.
I think it's very diplomatic of you, and also games like this, there's lessons to learn. And like you say, when you're up against a manager like Pep, he's experienced, he knows what he's doing. And we move on to Southampton in the league next week. Obviously, we've got Champions League as well. Are you going to continue to be optimistic about Chelsea?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think one game alone doesn't affect my confidence boost. I think the next game, don't forget, not only Southampton, we got Juventus as well in the midweek. So. Yeah, I'm confident that we can beat them. So let's just keep doing what we're doing behind the scenes. Let's just work something out that maybe doesn't add up for today. Just work on behind the scenes, work on some tactics, and we can improve from today on, from now onwards, man.
So I'm now joined by quite a big group of people. David, we actually saw each other straight after the game, didn't we? I was expecting madness playing and us jumping up and down. We weren't. How did you feel about the game?
For me personally, it was a game of 2 halves. City,
come join us.
Okay, cool. I just feel like it was a game of 2 halves. I feel like City had more of the possession, more of the ball, and probably could have and should have gone ahead 1-0. But I think second half, Chelsea were the better team. But then again, it was like we lacked that quality up top, and it was like that throughout the whole game. It's just that lack of quality up top that just let Chelsea down, and I just don't know why. Like Tuchel didn't change it up at half time to like add a bit of like quality up top. He probably should have added Havoc a bit earlier on, to be fair, like at half time rather than like around the 60th minute. But I mean, disappointing result all around. Should have capitalised on some of the counter-attack opportunities as well. And the referee as well. I don't want to bang on about the referee too much. In it because it's long. But I will say that referee made a mistake in not giving the penalty in the second half. I'll probably need to look at it again, though, to be fair. But I just felt like it should have been a penalty in the box second half. But all-round disappointing performance and no points at the end, innit?
Well, if you guys watched it at home, then let us know, because we were in the ground and obviously we can't see everything properly. So let us know if you think, penalties, yellow cards, etc. Right, Alex, come here. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Right, Alex, what did you make of today's performance?
I completely disagree. I actually think like Tuchel approached the game the way we were meant to do it. You're not going to do the same thing every game, and Tuchel's one of those flexible managers. That's what he's renowned for, and that's what we knew we got. In fact, that's something we should be praising rather than criticising, because we've had managers like Lampard who don't want to change things, and Tuchel's the complete opposite. So we started that game off defensively. Granted, maybe it's not the most exciting style of play, but he did change things in the second half. We brought off Kante, we brought off Jorginho, we brought on Loftus-Cheek and Havertz. They're 2 very positive changes. Reece James came off, Thiago Silva came off. And obviously, in terms of being defensive, actually having Dave on that right-hand side is so much more positive in terms of just being solid than Reece James, because he's going to hold position. He's so consistent. And we did create chances. It got better and better. Granted, we didn't have many shots on target. We didn't have any, but we grew into the game. The fans were definitely behind us. And on top of that, you look at Timo Werner. He loves playing on that left-hand side. If you notice, he was on the right, and we were utilising that pace. I actually thought he should have made more runs because he was beating them for pace every time. And when he did whip a good cross in, the chances were there. So
what was the problem today then?
It's just one of those games. Like you're not going to win every game. That's football. That's sport. And that is why it's so difficult to do. go unbeaten in a season. You know, it's not going to happen. We've got the depth, we've got the quality, we've got the fan base to support, and we've got so much to build on from this game. The reality is, it's a momentum thing. It's like anything. When a manager's under pressure and the team needs to perform, they do it. And we've seen it countless times. And this was the win Guardiola needed. We didn't need it. You know, we can still win the league comfortably. You know, if Man City lose this game, you know, we go, 6 points in front? Something like that. So, you know, it was their game to win. Well done to them. We'll probably beat them away from home anyway. So, do you know what I mean? I'm not happy because we lost, but at the end of the day, we didn't play bad. We didn't play as bad as people had, you know, thought we did, and I thought Tuchel made positive changes throughout the game as well.
You are the most positive guy after a loss. I need to talk to you after every... I mean, we're not going to get any more losses, let's be honest, but if we do, exactly. I will come to you, Alex. Right, Nupin, come here. I'm quite disappointed, I'm not going to lie. I mean, he's just cheered me up slightly. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, a game of two halves. We came too defensive in the first, and the second half we came out all guns blazing, and we got a goal, unfortunately, that was disallowed, which I really hoped would stand, because then I could shut up every single rival fan who hated on Romelu Lukaku for saying he doesn't score against big teams. But unfortunately, that got disallowed. And yeah, look, this defeat doesn't hurt me that much, because we can still go on to win the league. It's early days. To be honest, this win was something needed by Pep more than anything. So yeah, they can carry that trophy. But yeah, I still think we can win the league. I've said this so many times in countless podcasts, streams, that it'll be a three-horse race between Chelsea, City, and Liverpool.
Yeah. I think for me it was more about momentum, and then when you're winning, you're performing well, you're getting the result, the clean sheets. Then today, obviously, we've got to consider it's Manchester City, though.
Of course, there's no shame in losing to the Premier League champions.
But we are champions of Europe, so
of course.
Let's carry on with that. Nupin, thank you so much. Okay, Dami, so we've missed out on 3 points today. How do you feel?
I don't think it was a bad performance.
Come here, just console me. Yeah.
I don't think it was a bad performance by any chance. I felt City had more of a point to prove more than us. Tuchel came with a perfect plan, the counter-attack. I just think City were just up to the task in nullifying our threats, to be honest. And I don't think it should be a cause for alarm at all. I know we're the champions of Europe, but City over the period too, they've shown that they could come up against the big teams and perform. So yeah, and I felt we weren't really bad at all. The defense was stable. Rudiger was putting in a lot of a good shift, and yeah, and I think moving forward we have favourable fixtures. We should be able to get over the line against UAE, because I think they've got 1 point in 4 games. And yeah. And our next big game is against, I think, United in November. So that's something, we've got a bit of a breathing space between now and November.
So do you look at, let's say, the less higher ranking teams now and think, yeah, we can smash them every week?
Yeah.
Confident?
I think we can. Definitely. I just think this is just a one-off loss, to be honest. And yeah, moving forward, I think we just need to gain that confidence that we've been having before this game, and then we'll be right back at it. I think we're going to be definitely up there challenging for the league with City and Liverpool.
And I think
obviously, I will count United out of it because they got Ole, so yeah.
Well, I'm sure Tuchel will be at Cobham, training. He will have lessons to learn from this game. But like you say, let's not be too disheartened. It's, Man City are a big side. We know that. But, on to the next game. Thank you, Dami.